Okay, so it's 448 on the 24th. You know, another thing that was weird is when I got up, you know, I always go look at comments to answer comments. And it was 44 views, four, so what was it, like four something, I don't know, 4 likes and four something else. So it was 44. And then the next one was 44. And then the next one was 174. Which 17 is a number that I see all the time, which I guess there's a whole group of people who are, I don't know if we are a collective under the 17, like if you see 17 all the time in your numbers, if it has something to do with, I don't know, if we're all going to come together or something, which, yeah, there's a few things, man. I'm being fucked with so hard right now. Are you fucking kidding me? It's intense. Even when I was about to start, it unplugged. So I had to go plug it back in, and it's just like my awareness of like the fuckery. And this right here started flashing. It just flash, 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 flash. So what the hell? What the fuck? I'm having so many weird things. Stella, wakes me up like every hour. It's insane. And I'm so deep in my dreaming or my meditation or whatever the fuck, in my space where I'm at out of here. And and she just wakes me up and wakes me up and wakes me up all motherfucking night. It's so insane. I don't know, it just keeps me feeling out of it all the time. What was I gonna say? There's anyways, I keep being fucked with. I have a whole bunch of things coming, like little flashes. Like yesterday when I was driving, I felt sad yesterday. I just kept feeling sad. It just kept being thing after thing after thing. And when I left to go to the store and I drove up the road and there was a baby deer fucking killed right in the road. And still I can't get it out of my head either. And I know, you know, death isn't real and all that. And it just was sad, man. There's just sadness here. They won't stop killing the dogs, man. Just keep on and keep on. My whole feed is on TikTok is all people just like me talking about this stuff. So I guess we are all finding each other because my feed is full of people talking about the same things I talk about. And there's a few that just asked Chat GPT, and this one guy, he was asking Chat GPT. It was weird as shit. Like it's so weird how I'll talk about something, and then later in that day I'll get videos talking where it's being talked about. To me, it is, and this has been going for years and years and years. So to me, it is always like that. Is a confirmation back to me because when I'm talking about things, it's coming from inside of me, or you know, my view, my vision. And so and sometimes I'll feel like, fuck, man, am I completely a nut? Like, but there will be these confirmations that come all the time. So it's like they're trying to keep me clear, like, you're not crazy. This is real. And so, because what was the one? Oh yeah, the Chat GPT thing. So the other day when I was saying about source and God thing, and so this guy, after I just was talking about it, and so how I was explaining it, you know, source is the energy of us all that comes together. God is this concept that people like. It has to be. They have to give it a they have to give it a face. They have to give it something. But in order to create it, we'd all have to come back together. And when we're all apart, you're accessing, depending on what vibration that you are accessing. Oh man, Hold on. It's so weird how this happens. Because I'll be sitting there thinking, what the fuck am I going to be even talking about this morning? And I'll think, I have no clue. And then it just starts coming in these waves and stuff, and I can't keep up. Oh, fuck. Hold on. Okay, so I was like talking about us being the source, and we'd have to all come together. But when we're all apart, that is what creates the universal consciousness. And so it's the action of energy, and it is based on vibration. Like every person, you have a tone. You have a tone of your vibration that you put out. And I think even our voice kind of has a tone that represents our vibration or something. Like if you hear somebody's voice and it's calming, or if you hear somebody's voice that is like chalkboard, like scratching on the chalkboard, kind of, it's the vibration of them is what you are hearing. And if you hear a vibration of somebody's voice and it's very, cringy to you, it could just be your vibration just doesn't match with theirs. It doesn't mean like they're a bad person and you're a good person or something. It just is like, it's not a match, kind of. And when somebody's vibration is low, it's like they're stuck in the matrix, kind of. They're stuck in the pretend world. So, anyways, which this is weird. Okay, because like, oh yeah, the sort. Okay, I'll say more about. Okay, because the ChatGPT was saying like the same thing I was saying. So it answered it in the same way. It was more drawn out and more like, the character of God is created for the physical mind or something. But it was saying the same thing as me. But this is something. So yesterday, well, I do it all the time. I'm all the time like, where am I supposed to be going? Give me a sign. Show me a direction. Open a door. And so I feeling like that a lot. Like the pressure's on, baby. And so it's like, come on, like give me the next move. And so that I'd be like going. It's like, just give me something. Just drop me something. Give me a direction. And, give me something to focus on, and pull myself in. And which I heard somebody say, you cannot go somewhere that you have not envisioned. You can't go if you can't create it in your mind, you can't go there. Which I thought, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one, because that is what manifesting is about. But it's not on like what people think manifesting is. You just sit and envision it. You got to go in the direction of it, but you can't go somewhere that you don't believe in. It's like, that is good, man. So, because that's true. I think that's totally true. That's why you cannot just do this jump. You can just jump over somewhere out of your problems into another. It is, you have to match it. You have to match where you're trying to go. And to me, it is the vision came to me where I was headed, which I thought, was way sooner. I had no idea it was this long game we were going in. And I was like, fuck, when am I getting there? About 15, 20 years from now? Like, what the fuck, dude? So, but I guess, I had a lot of work to do, because it gave the vision, and then you start going towards it, and then people start looking at you like you're a kook, telling you you're crazy and stuff like that. And then that creates a lot of what you need to work on yourself, this belief in yourself, this trust in yourself. So it's the journey to get there. And but I was like, I was shown where I was going. And then, but, it's like, it's out there somewhere. It's out there somewhere. I don't know where. You just got to keep going towards it. And but so however it is, I don't know, if you can just come up with something out of your mind and just be like, this is what I want, so I'm just going to focus on it and I'm going to go there. I don't know, because to me, destiny plays a big role in our existence of this simulation. And so it is, I don't know. It's up to you to figure it out. But to me, the vision was shown. So, uh, anyways, but that is the journey to self. As you go through going towards you, where people will think you're a kook. And that's where you have so much learning and growth and stuff like that. If she hits into the thing, I'm going to get up and plug her back in this time, because I'm just getting started. But, oh God, everything. So, and I keep getting, so good. So, anyways, but this, okay. So, I'm sitting here thinking, give me a sign, show me a direction, give me something. And, so this video pops up on my thing, and it is this girl, and just the way that she represented was, I don't know, there's so many of these people who are so spiritual. Oh, so many people are calling that one guy out now. The guy who spoke to God, and he told him, yeah, get you a three thing going and get you a couple of babies out of these ladies, and that's the way we're going. It's like, okay, Cookie, I don't know who you're talking to, but I wouldn't say it's a high vibration. And, but everything's being exposed. Like, all this shit is just being exposed. And so more people are talking about that. But so on this one, this girl, and so she's part of the, there was this community or whatever. And so she was saying some of the things that I believe, but then she was saying some other things. And it's like, and so many people, like, they say, oh, they're, spiritual leaders or whatever, but they put on a persona. It's like they put on a persona. They're not real or authentic. They have a phony vibe to them still. And so, and to me, this is the breakdown of everything phony about you. It is like, you gotta be real. Everything, you gotta be real. And anything that's not real is fake. It's phony. It's putting something on so that you feel whatever. You be accepted, whatever it is. Which there's so many guys now calling out these ladies on the, don't pretend like you don't know that you're just showing your ass. Don't pretend like you don't know you're just showing your boobs and stuff. It's like men are starting to get uncomfortable with the lack of modesty. That's when you know things are going to change. Before they were eating it up. Yeah, show us your titties, show us your ass, show us it all, give us a little more. But now they're starting to be like, okay, this is getting cringy. Like, so, like, things are changing. So, hold on. But it's not like I can put a thing. There was one thing that she said where I was like, what? Okay, so she says that she's starting, I was unclear, really, of what exactly what are you talking about? But so it's like a community of change directed by the feminine energy in the quantum. See, she got the quantum in there. Because we're going towards the quantum, but that's a higher vibration. We're moving into a higher vibration. And I keep getting all these people talking about quantum and vibration and stuff like that. And, oh, you could do this, you could do that. But the thing is, you can't do it in low vibration. You can't, they kept us, we're in a low vibration. That is the flipping out of it. We got to get out of the low vibration. And so that is the people waking up, remembering and pulling free. So it's like, and we're doing it as a collective, a mass group. And then there's different people waking up at different times, and it's the pulling of the energy going in a different direction. But we're still in a low vibration. I even, this girl, like I was talking about the sky, and she starts saying, oh, I just think it's so beautiful. We're in the new world and all that stuff. It's like, that's not how I look at it at all. Like, we're still in low vibration. I've seen these spiritual people, oh, we're in Age of Aquarius now. This is not Age of Aquarius. We are still breaking free, so I don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, are you kidding me? You think this is as good as it gets? What the fuck? You're just throwing out words. You're just saying whatever sounds good. It's like, god dang, man. So this is what this girl. So essentially, it's like all these high vibration women, the leaders of the new world, are coming together in a community to do their work. And I was just seeing like, oh my gosh, there would, I can't imagine there not being interference because of the competitiveness of the women. I can't see past it. Maybe it's my own blockages or something. Maybe it's because that's not the direction I'm meant to go. But but that's, you know, I see like, oh, so you go and you say, you know, your focus is your channeling and the direction that you are led to talk about. There would be, oh, women who are like, oh no, this is, I mean, the ones that are channeling source, the ones that are channeling the archangels, the ones that are, it's like the competitiveness, the name dropping, that, you know, I've got the truth. It's like, I don't know about this. And then she also said something about God as an entity, and then she even called him Papa. You know, Papa. What? If you are in the mindset of answering to Almighty, then I would say you've got some stuff to break through. Like, I don't see that at all. This has been something I've argued with since I was a kid. The devil's not real. God, it's the universe. It's an energy. It's this big thing. It's everything. And it's not this person in the sky watching and judging. And even that whole concept of people believing in that. It's like, well, why would you want to believe in somebody who just is judging you and is hateful and it wants to kill its own creation like that? Well, it's the ones that don't deserve it. It's the bad ones. It's like, that right there is division. That's low vibration. When you start thinking you're better, I'm better than them, I'm better than them, that's low vibration. And that is the hierarchy that they want to keep somebody in. And it's what the building blocks of religion. And that's why I was saying yesterday, is like, I still see that. What I said yesterday, I still see it. It's a huge tension that is going to build, and I don't know if it's because is this thing happens in the people, like, because it's the blues, because these other ones have got a wall. So the blue, there will be some, because everything is not one thing. So the blues, as they begin to remember their essence and their truth of divinity, then they will move towards spirituality. And that is what is going to rub them wrong, because you're not moving towards God, so you're still out. You're not moving towards Jesus, so you're still out. Then there is so it creates a tension, but it's a tension that always has to go. It's a tension that has to play out because it has to be released, and it's a tension that is continued through thousands, eons in this realm, in this vibration. In order to break the vibration, break out of the vibration, you have to release the things, the ties to the vibration. And so and that is a part, that is the battle between right and wrong, good and evil, when it's individual. There is no set thing. It's individual. It's where you align. It's where your vibration is. And it's not something to stress about because your vibration is always changing. And it's like you can only get yourself stuck. It's not like you can be stuck. You stick yourself. You hold yourself back. And being stuck is not wrong because there's all learning in every experience. So there's nothing that can be wrong and there's nothing that can be right. Everything just is. And so it's just the existence of the is, you know? And yeah, it's like you enter the all field when you can let go of what divides you. And in the all field, the quantum reality where we create a new world, you have to let go of all of the ties that bind you to the low vibration and create division. And so the one group, because they, yeah, okay, yeah, it's kind of like it hits into their ego. Like, no, we're right. You're not choosing what's right because I choose what's right. It's something that holds them back from connecting to themselves. But anybody who connects to themselves knows they have to face their darkness. They know that you have to face things that you're not exactly comfortable with. And so there's a resistance because Jesus takes it all away for you. So it's like, I can do this, I can say this and all that, but I'm accepted by the Almighty because the blood of the thing, whatever, let me finish this. It's starting to get cold. So the blood of Christ is, it's so symbolic too. Like when you hear these people, these occultist people explain some of the stuff, like I heard a guy who was explaining about the birthday thing, which, you know, I became resistant to that. But you also, it's a hard thing to break free because it's so embedded into our society. I think every country is taught to celebrate this, which is another thing he said too, is that everybody sings the same fucking song in the same fucking tone, and it is a spell. And he said even the lighting the candle, keeping your wish to yourself, blowing the candle, and then it all creates this this step into this countdown kind of. I can say the thing because I can't explain something like when somebody else explains it, but it's the whole thing is this this like a cultist kind of spell binding way to aid you, and it's like to minimize your time. It's a whole thing. Because it puts it into your mind, well, this is what a 60-year-old acts like. This is what a 60-year-old does and stuff. It's all programming because it has no bearing. And it's even fascinating how you can just, you know, line up 120-year-olds, line up 130-year-olds, and 140-year-old. You're going to have difference in all the people. It's all in how you perceive. But they definitely start really edging in on certain ages where people start believing they're old, and the poisons and stuff are eating at their bodies, and so they start feeding into that energy. So it all works together. So anyways, I can share that video on this, so because he explains it, I think, really well. And I totally believe it. I totally believe it. I totally think that that's what, because when you start thinking about it, it really has no bearing on anything, on your window of time. But it causes an influence over you. You have some kind of control over time. Like if you take care of yourself, well, then you won't die. Well, that's not it. You have a come and go time. You have a time you come in and you have a time you leave, and that's set. And you can do whatever you want in between. You can not take care of yourself or you can take care of yourself. The thing that always drove me into wanting to take care of myself was because it was like, well, dang, say you lived to be 100 and you didn't take care of yourself. That's some rough years in there. Like, that's some rough times. So to me, it was always like, take care of yourself like you're going to live to be 100, man. But that doesn't mean you'll live to be 100. There's people out there who take care of themselves and they were jogging and freaking keel over right then and there. They get hit by a car. There's all sorts of things that can happen because it has nothing to do with anything. There's people who don't take care of themselves whatsoever. I've heard so many people like, oh, well, my grandma, she smoked cigarettes, a pack, I don't know, 3 packs a day. Need bacon and grease all day long. Lived to be 110. Because it has no bearing. There's people who do drugs and, they seem they're tempting fate all the time. But there's no real temptation. There is only the truth. And the truth is, you have a come time and a go time. It's just like that's the way it is. And so your window of time is interference and influenced by their spells, their casting, their way that they create these situations. Which now I've got this thing with Eisenhower's wife. She seemed like a real kookadoo. Like she was into it, man. I don't know how accurate this is, but Eisenhower, he seemed more troubled by what was going on. And this is out of American Horror Story. I keep seeing these clips. And she wasn't, man. She was, like, they don't matter. That is in there, but what the fuck could cause that ruckus? Dang. God, everything's intense. So, so she, maybe that's confirmation, or maybe that's a resistance, like they don't want to talk about it. So she, in this clip, they are testing, it's that's what was going on for a long. It's still going on, man. I mean, they're even coming right out and saying, like, oh, well, we're going to just put people together with animals. Is that okay? It's okay with us. And just let you know. It's like, okay, you guys been doing this a long ass time. They've been doing this shit for decades. And he, in this clip, he's complaining about listening to the screams under the house, in the White House, and which that was a big thing in when Donald first went in, because if you remember, it was she wouldn't come until they did a whole clearing, until they went in and excavated with the sage. And she was like, hell no, I'm not going in there, and she wouldn't go. And then they had to do like a exorcism on the house or something. And then I think she went in and redecorated and stuff, like threw away all the old stuff. But there was also a part during some point, I don't remember what, because I don't even, I think a lot of this stuff that we see is a stage, a sound stage. But there was a point where people who were watching over there, there was ambulances, all sorts of stuff. There was tons and tons and tons of it. And there's something going on weird with the lights and stuff. But there was all the speculation was that they were clearing out the looping things below, and the rooms down there. The lab was being cleaned out, and which right now there's where they've just come out and said, well, you know what we found on the island of Jeffrey? There's tunnels. Oh. So I was like, surprise, surprise. So the underground, which, how I said, some of these guys, Jordan Peele, he told in the one show, I can't remember what it was called, I think it was Us, U.S., which U.S., that's weird too. Because that tunnel, they go everywhere. But he showed about the world underneath. And so in this clip, though, so Harry's like, I can't handle this fucking screaming and shit. And Mamie or whatever, she's just like, oh, it doesn't bother me at all. You know what you need to do? We need another place. We need a spread. We need that, over in Nevada, you know how sucky that place is. Remember when we went there, how horrible it was? It was too hot, we couldn't breathe. That's what we need to do. We need to start one over there. And so, 51 of the birth. And so that's what they were seeing in this. That's where it became, because there was too much, it was too intense underneath the house, so they had to expand and make a bigger lab. So, anyways, I could probably know. And okay, because there was something else that was coming to my mind at the same time. There's so many. There was flash. Okay, let me see. So the underground world underneath us. The I don't know. I will go back to that, I guess, because now it's still this lady who is starting this new world that is all these women coming together. And and I don't know that all the people who claim to be spiritual are really awake and have not cleared their ego at this point. And when they're still hanging on and believing in Big Papa. What? Big Papa. What? Oh God, I don't know. I find that so cringy. But I did message her because I did want to find out more information, because I do like to read the signs, and I had asked for one. And so it's like, is there something I need to get over? Is there something I'm missing? And so I did message her. But this is another thing in her comments. So she wasn't saying where this place is or anything, or exactly what it is. So I said, where is this, and is it a healing center? And or is it just a commune of ladies who think that they've got all the answers? So but in the comments, there was all these other ladies who, I'm doing the same thing. I'm doing the same thing. And they're all led by, Big Papa, I guess. And so I got Biggie in my mind singing. Okay, so but the thing that was getting me was like, yeah, we're in California, I'm starting one. I'm like, okay, so you're starting the future in California? That's gonna be short-lived. I'm like, what the fuck? One was, they got theirs started in Florida. I'm like, well, hopefully you're very in the top middle of Florida if you're starting this in Florida. Like, what? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, where are you at in your awakening? Are you just got focused on being the chosen starseed of the world, and you've got all the answers, and you're the queen of the Anunnaki and returned to save all the people? And yeah, what was that one? Oh yeah. Yeah, because yesterday after, I'm seeing this battle going of the huge trigger that happens to the religion when the collective starts going towards the spiritual awakening. And it's different, because you're going into your divinity. You're no longer worshiping Big Papa. And so the tension that builds in that, but it's the low vibration of control and hold going against the freedom of escape. And so that's the battle between the two energies. And it's, when you got the players, and we don't know everybody's part. There will be some kooky ones, just like the ones who go and take out prostitutes because, they're not going against, they're going against God. It's like, oh, but you're not. So anyways, because I was talking to my mom yesterday, And we were talking about some stuff, you know, like, and she's going through some things into me. It's like, well, everything is about boundaries. If you don't have your boundaries, and, you know, notice, like, I've got this much energy, I can share this much, I can't share all of it because I need some for me. Then that you have to have boundaries. Otherwise, the people who want your energy will take and take and take and take. And if you don't put it up, then to them, you've got it all they need. Just give me more, baby. And so you are the one who has to say, oh, you know, that's all I got. And I got some for me, but, you know, it's all I got to give. And so you've got to create that. Otherwise, you build a tension, and you do yourself into a hole of resentment because you blame them for taking too much when you're the one who just not, you're the one who's not capable of saying, hey, you know, sorry. And when you don't have good boundaries, saying no, what makes you feel like, you know, the world's going to end, everyone's going to hate you. But, you know, we got to get comfortable with no. And it's okay to say no. And so I've got that nose drip. So I swear to God, we're being poisoned to fucking death. So so anyways, we were talking about, you know, because she's got, you know, all of her animals that she has to take care of and whatnot. And so I said, well, that's in service. You know, they're not giving you anything back. You're just in service to them. And you can be their slave. But anyways, it's a choice. And like I said before, you know, you can go into it with all of the most positive reasons of doing it. But then it depends on what need you're feeling. Because pretty soon you can imprison yourself. And so, but there's still a giving freely of you to what it is you have built, and you are in service, you know, to others, to another energy. And so, but you also, you know, got to have your boundaries and stuff, even with whatever it is. But so, but anyways, that's in service. And we were talking about people who aren't at all, you know, it's very, they just give to themselves, give to themselves, give to themselves. And that can be kind of toxic. If you are not giving to anyone but yourself, that can become kind of toxic. Anyways, in this conversation, we're talking about, you know, energy and boundaries and lifestyle and stuff, that she said, well, I guess, you know, some of them, they are they do spend all their time trying to save souls. It's like right there. It's like not our duty. It's like it's not up to us. We're not here to save souls. We're not here to suck people into our belief system. You know, we're here to live our truth. And you represent your truth. It ripples out. And it's a transit situation. It's a set thing who passes you, who comes in and out of your orbit, you know, and that your ripple can affect them. And so it's the movement of how the water moves. And when you are trying to control it, then you are causing barriers. You're causing dams. There's a reason why the dams are all failing, because it's a control. And so we aren't here to, you know, that's in arrogance and ego where you think you're saving somebody. You got to go save them. They don't know what they're doing. You got to save them. So anyways, that is it's a example of the narrative of the control group. So, but the control group is going to become very triggered over the next phase. So whatever is going to happen, it's going to create this big wave of awakening where, like I've said, it's only the beginning of the healing for a lot of people. When the wave comes in and everything flips, and they feel like, if some of us who've been doing the work for the whole time, it's going to feel like a fucking relief, man. It's going to feel like the tension is, oh God, it's going to feel good. But for a lot of people, it's going to be an instant of, of embarrassment and shame, and that's going to put them into the dark night, into the facing the darkness in themselves. And they have been locking in all these aspects of themselves by the hateful behavior, the hateful things they've said, the way they've looked at things and stuff like that. So they're going to have a lot of things to face in themselves. And so that is going to be the trigger. And it's going to, well, there's going to be a lot of healers that are going to be, there's going to be a direction. It's going to be a huge wave of direction, because even the healing centers and stuff, and it's going to be a lot more spiritual based, not control based. But that is going to be a big trigger to the ones that have been programmed so heavily into the control factor. So it's going to cause a big storm, a big rift. And so that's where I see it's the battle of good and evil. It's like they're just at this point, if the remembering is the creation of the warriors of each side. And so, but as warriors, we also, I believe, need to be more passive and know, like, no matter what happens, you're not going to die. That's not real. You'll just go to the age of Aquarius faster, or wherever it is you want to go, if we're taken out in some way. But that it is more important to stand in the truth of your divinity than to bow down to the sense of control. And it's going to come in very distinct. It's going to come in very hard. It's going to be very driven by, very emotionally driven, and very triggered. And it will be a lot of tension in different places and families and stuff, just as Donald, well, it's going to get bigger because now it's Jesus. So it's going to get intense. And but I think that is the attention, is where the universe is going to step in. That's where, this bolt of lightning, so the tension will build, creating, like I said, like so much more activity with the volcanoes, the water, all that stuff is just going to get even crazier. And then it's like this boom, which would be the solar flash, that it is the separation. It will be like immediate. It will be like boom in the separation. And different to go. You go where your vibration God takes you. And so, and there is no wrong or right. It's just, for those of us who wake up, it's like, well, dang, I want to pull out of this shit. But there's lessons still. So there's people who will stay in the lessons. And so it's, and it's for their best, So they'll keep going and working through whatever it is that binds them, whatever holds them back. But, and then the others will ascend, and that's where we will begin the creation of the new age. Right now, this is the bridge. This is where you're remembering which side you're on, who you are at your core. If you still have this like God theory, this something bigger than you is in control of you, which there is, destiny, but it's not God. It's like you go and sign up. It's like, yeah, I want that ride. I want to go on that ride. So you go on it. You choose it. And it's not like, and I hear so many of these spiritual people, God chose you. God said, God put you there. It's like, okay, well, I know my higher self's pretty special, but I didn't know he was a God. But we're all gods, I mean, in one sense of the thing. You got to remember, it's like you are essentially your own God. So it's so you don't want to lower your sense of being either, of not being as special as you are. But yeah, you chose the world, you chose the life that you're living. You weren't, a soul just up there doing your business, and you're plucked out and thrown in. So, so you sign up with destiny. It's like you you agree, you know, like, yeah, I'm gonna play this out. Let's see what happens. I think I can master this. And if I can't master it, I'm sure gonna learn. So it's way more of that. But destiny is a part of the game. It's a part of the ride. And so, you know, you're gonna have this happen, this happen, this happen, and this happen. And what are you gonna do with it? And so but as we exit this vibration, I think that is this whole quantum thing, because some of these people where I hear them say, you know, and you have all these versions of you. Well, it all depends on what you're looking at, you know. If you're standing up here and you're looking back, yeah, there's all sorts of versions of you. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. I'm not the same person I was 20 years ago. And I'm not, each person is a different person. It's a different experience. And so it's the evolution of self. And so you evolve all the time. And so with the, you know, the quantum thing is always like, well, you don't go over here, you can go over there. And to me, everything is your focus. It's what do you focus on? So yeah, I mean, then that to me goes into time travel. And so you can go wherever you want to go. But in this vibration that we're at, like, you know, we still can get sick. We're still bound. We're still held. Which I saw this lady, and so she's Canadian, and she, you know, got a little of this, and she became in a wheelchair, and she's a single mom with a little kid, and she went, of course, to them and asked, you know, what's up, and they, you know, give her a runaround, but they did say, well, you know what, we'll give you a little trip to the maid. We got that for you. And she's like, what? Hell no, I've got a kid. And so she's on the internet, which I'm not even sure, because she's, you know, constantly being shut down for misinformation and shit. And she said something about Alex Jones and some other person. And I wasn't sure if she was saying that they were also saying it or if they were supportive of her. And so she was like, you know, she can't get anywhere there in their medical. All she can get is, you know, a little offer of, you know, well, we got this little over here, and you can take a day in there, all your problems go away. Bullshit. They just steal your goddamn consciousness. And which also, I thought of another movie that shows about that, Skeleton Key. Skeleton Key also shows, that's what I think fucking Ozzy, it's like, okay, now we're gonna watch and see what happens with Sharon next. Like, is all of a sudden there's a girl hanging out with Youngblood all the time, and then Sharon goes? Like, that's I swear to God, this consciousness shifting shit. And so because there's a lot of things going on here. That's just one thing. And now they're coming out so much with the, you know, let's see how I can say that. You know that thing that they play in the churches, the big organ? Okay, so you know how that is, it's a big industry of trade, and it's big money. Because I had even heard this nurse, and she had quit the whole shenanigans, the shebang, because of the bullshit. And her dad was a doctor, and so he had also quit. And so she said, this is what her video was. So I asked him, what was your thing? And I already talked about it. It was the little girl, and they said, you know, she's done, and so they wanted all of the donation, and the doctor said, well, you know, he was friends with them from church or something, so he said, well, I'll go up with her, because they do this big, you know, 16 doctors, and they're removing parts and shit or something. And so he had said that what got him was the next day or a couple days later, when the lady called and she said, would you mind coming to our car wash, because we're trying to raise the money for the funeral. And he was like, that, it was it for him. He said it just made him so mad, because they make millions of dollars off of what they just took off of her. And he even said like one organ is 200K or something. So he was pissed. He said that it's all backwards. It should be if any of the money, why is it going to the hospitals? Yeah. And what has gotten me so much through all of the through the receiving of the information was, why do they need so many? Who needs all these parts? And so now it's coming out in, we got senators, it's on the news. Even I had sent something to my mom in the afternoon with the senators saying it, and said, my friend said it's on her local news. And so my mom is just like, And so then a little while later, she messages me and she's like, guess what was just on the news? Guess what they're talking about on the news? And so, yeah, it's on our local news too. And I said, well, this is just the start. This is just the opening the door. I said, it's going to get way, way darker. It's going to get way worse. This is so much bigger than this is just the start. And because it's going to lead into Soylent, the green. It's going to lead into, what do you do with the next? And the fact that they take parts like off of people in jail, like you become in their system. I'm sure in the army, everything. If somebody goes in and they don't have family and stuff, then they're just parted out. And then they got to do something with all the leftovers. So what do? Feed them back to the people. And which I saw a guy doing a video, and he was, I think maybe he was asking ChatGPT or something, or maybe he was doing research, I can't remember. But he said, when did this whole thing start about eating meat? And he said like 1760. And before, it was something with the industrial thing. Before that, people weren't eating meat like this. And but there's more to all of this stuff, because they are feeding us, the leftovers, or when they take the parts. And it seems that they need the parts. Like some of them, their consciousness, they just get a whole new body, like in the Skeleton Key and Get Out, or these other movies that they've shown that. So these more advanced beings that stay alive forever and ever and ever, that they just go into another body. And so and then they want to take certain bodies, but there's other ones, it's like, do they just need parts all the time? They just constantly need new parts, because who the fuck is getting all these fucking parts? Like, it's weird. And so which there's a whole thing about, most of the parts go to Saudi Arabia or Dubai or something. And then they have like a whole little farm, and they keep the people on there, and they're only allowed this certain diet. It's like Hamas or something diet, which I don't even know what that is. So, yeah, that's something with a kosher, I don't know, because they're part of this shit too. And but that doesn't mean all the people who follow that, birthright or whatever, they're all a part of it. They're just the ones that don't know. They're just the beard for the other ones. So, because there's ones that know, and they go by a Z and an I and an O and an N. So those people that have the ones in the farm, so that they gotta have these pure parts or something. But I have said, that some of these beings they're colonists, the same thing as what we think of colonists here, of going and taking over places. These are ones from other places. And so, but there still is the peace, because there's other beings that are going to be coming from everywhere. It's going to be peace in order to have, we're moving into a world of peace on earth. We're moving into a vibration of peace on earth, and that's where, well, those beings need this, but, they're not going to be taking it from us anymore. And, You know, I mean, they need to be in the higher vibration and they won't need the parts, or maybe they go into, they split apart, like, you know, uh, I don't know. Oh no. Because they are definitely signing on to the peace on earth. And so, and if it's a certain group of them, maybe a lot of them are hybrids of some type. I don't know. I don't know. I just know that there's different beings from different places here now with us. And these ones supposedly are the consumers of parts in a big way. But I don't know. There's just a lot of weird shit going on because they also do the cloning. And now there's so many people. I see video after video of people showing like the Hollywood thing, and how all of a sudden these people, these girls, are looking so much younger. They're looking like them. Well, some of them don't even look like themselves ever. Some of them just look like this new version. Even like Kelly, Ozzy's daughter, Kelly Osbourne. Her whole jawline's changed. It's like she doesn't even have the same jawline. There's nothing the same about her face. But this one girl, she was like, okay, so you can't. She's talking to the people because people just come in. Oh, you're crazy. They do it and surgery and it's this, it's that. And this lady was like, okay, so you think that they all look the same? You think it's all the same? And she's like, well, look at their eyes. Look at their eyes. Do you see the same? Because Dakota Fanning has got people rocked now. You know, she went from being this, you know, cheerful, or like she had a big fan base after her, you know, Grey thing. So she created a big fan base and a lot of people like her. And and the one thing I saw, you know, where they showed up close, she had blue eyes. Well, the new one, she had blue eyes. She got dark eyes. And oh well, those contacts, whatever. So her whole face has changed. But anyways, this girl was like, look at the eyes. Look at the eyes of all these people. And when they're their regular self, there's life in their eyes. They've got a brightness. In the new versions of them coming out, there's a deadness to their eyes. There's no life in their eyes. Which, yeah, that was true when she was saying about, just look at the eyes, look at that. And she was going in on all these ones. It was like, ooh, yeah, there is like a brightness in their eyes. And then there's like a darkness, just dark, like a lack of life. And then another thing, or another person was doing videos, is like, look at their hands. Oh my lord, that was creepy. And the first one I had seen about the hands thing was some lady. I don't know who she is. I think she's in Wicked, maybe, and maybe she's in the play or something, because she's singing, and so she's on a stage and she's singing, and so she's got her hands going. I mean, I don't know. I've got big hands, I think, but you know, sometimes I think like, fuck, if I'm out there, they're going to be sitting there going like, oh, look, she's a boy, she's a boy. It's like, man, it's so crazy. And look at her hands, because I have long arms. Some of the things that they go, look at the long arms, look at those long hands and stuff. It's like, oh, well, I've got that. So, but these ones, oh my God, and they all add on these fucking crazy ass long pointy nails. I'm hot now. So they've got these creep ass. I've always had like older hands. That was something that kind of embarrassed me when I was younger, because I always had like these, like I look like I've been out working on the farm for 100 years, hands. And so I always was like, geez, I have really old looking hands. But uh, but these, they're a whole nother level, because when you go up to the pictures and you look at their old hands, they're totally different looking. So they got their regular hands, and then all of a sudden they get this new revised version of themselves and creep eyes, but their hands turn fucking creepy. It's like this long, like, it's really creepy. This one woman, the first one I'd seen where people were talking, I was like, is this AI? Are they doing this to her hands? Like, how can this be real? Because it's like she's singing it, and it's like her fingers are growing out. It's like her fucking hands are as big as her torso or something. It's like they're ginormous. And our fingers are like extensions. These long nails come out. It's fucking creepy. It's like what kind of fucking creature is body taking over in this thing? Like, what the hell? It's creepy. But then, this is a whole bunch of them. Nicole Kidman, Khloe Kardashian. I don't remember the whole list. Like, I could find that video and share it too if you want to see. But yeah, the hands thing, it's very creepy. The eyes thing, very creepy. So there's more than just all of a sudden looking young. Which, this is another thing too, because my mom is sure. Like, the station she's listening to, they're on the up and up. They got it all going on. And so once they had said about the stuff, then it's like, oh, so they are saying it. But uh, she said, oh, they, what they say on there, you can always trust, because it's like they vetted or something. I don't know. But I was up there doing some dishes or something, and they start going on Kris Jenner. And you know how she all of a sudden became so beautiful is apple cider vinegar. What? The whole thing. You too can buy this and look as good as Kris Jenner now. I like, okay, no fucking, jeez. So yeah, I'm thinking taking some apple cider vinegar. What is going to be that's going to change us into being younger looking is going to be vibration. These people are not doing it by high vibration. These people are not going into med beds and becoming, no, your eye would become brighter, not darker. There's something weirder going on, and I don't know if it's something with their clones or if it's something with body swapping, which it seems like. It seems like kind of like that, the way these weirdo hands. It's like, what creature has these kind of hands? And are their hands even bigger? Is this like shape shifting shit? I don't know. Because there's so many things. Because we got the clones, we got the body part, and we got the body swapping. We got them making, and them wanting to steal your consciousness because then they, enslave it into a computer. There's a whole thing with all these computers. Like, we are sentient beings. We are thinking for ourselves. Well, because they've already put fucking consciousness into it. We are conscious beings. Like, so we got a lot going on here. There's a lot, and it's the craziest stuff you can think of. So crazier that you can think is probably, it's a part of your communication of the truth. It's not because you're crazy. Please don't. Please don't. Just don't unplug. Go lay over there, okay? Oh, I'm just gonna sit up right here in the plug thing. Oh God, I swear. I can't wait for this energy to. It's like a part of me just wants to bust on through to the other side. But then, I know that, we can't do it prematurely because everybody gets this opportunity to remember, to prepare themselves for what's to come, it seems. So, to align yourself with the energy and this possibility for you to purge out the things that hold you back, the ties that bind, so that you can be ready for this big shift of the separation between good and evil. Like, it's weird because it's not like there's not like good and evil really. It's like vibration, but it's like the two vibrations are splitting apart, and the vibration of control and all of that is the low vibration, and the higher vibration is the soaring in the big blue wonder. So it's soaring free. Is anyone out there telling the birds, oh no, you can't go that high, you can only go this way, you can't go that way, So it's everything is micro, macro, and representation. When we look at the birds and we see freedom, it's because they were free. They're free to go and do what they want to do. And so that's where we're headed into, the vibration of soaring. Well, that is leaves behind control and stuff. So that's what we're breaking free from. Is the the separation is control and freedom. And so you've got to notice in yourself of what is being controlled and what is trying to control others. And then you've got to separate from those things. So if you're controlling over others, it's not like you're a bad person. It's you are living in some type of fear that you have to relieve yourself of. And so fear is what creates control. And so you need to bust on out of there. And so you've got to recognize it in yourself. That's why awareness has such a major part to play, because the more aware you are of yourself, the more that you can separate from the things that control you, that you want to set yourself free from. So, all the things that are in the low vibration, it's like the nucleus, the base is through fear. And so those things, and then, I mean, they create a god, fear. So many people, religion is based on fear. So that is the separation, where spirituality can move into soaring when they separate. So that's the battle between good and evil, and the darkness, the low vibration is what is where those things play out. So that's why we're moving out of there and going into the higher vibration. And that's where, I think, the quantum field, where it's like, well, I want to be here right now, but I want to be over there. And so you just zippity doo all day over there. You don't have to, well, I gotta go wait at the airport. Oh, the flights are canceled. Oh, yeah, I gotta wait and get another flight. Oh, blah, I'll take a car. I'll drive through the rugged terrain. It's like, no, we won't have to do that anymore. We'll just be like, well, I want to be here. I'm gonna go over there. But there's gonna be steps to get there. It's like everything is to keep us pulling free from the control and the concepts of what controls us. And so there will be a continued pulling free. And like, I do think, that we will have these hover car things, this hovercraft thing, just like there's all these beings, that go around in spaceships and stuff. And so, but we'll be able to, like, I don't know, go into your hovercraft and be like, okay, well, I want to be here. So you could be like in Washington State 1 second, and then, I want to go see my brother. And so when we go to Texas, you just go in, and then you're in Texas. It's not like, okay, well, we'll just fly around and get there and go. No, it's going to be different. It's like more Star Trek. It's more of like, well, I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to be over there. And so and they would kind of like evaporate, and then they would come back together. And so we're moving more into that quantum kind of field of existence. But you have to let go of all the anchors that hold you back from being able to think that that's real. And so that is but that's the bridge. That's where we're bridged right now. We're on a bridge to get there. So when I hear these people who are like, we're in the age of Aquarius, guys. We just jumped timelines. We're in the age of Aquarius now. It's like, what? You cannot just say it and make it be. It's like we have a lot of stuff to go down in order to get there. This is a big bridge. It's a bridge to get us to where we're going. And it's an opportunity for people to shed the baggage as they cross the bridge. And if they can't shed it, then they won't enter. It's like the bridge will, yeah, it's like what are those bridges where they go up and they go down? So it's like we're on the bridge, but then the bridge is going to separate. And so it just depends on where your vibration is which way you go. And that's the flash. That's the boom. It's all, we've just went 2 different ways. And then I think it's Koliunga, Canigula, like it's something, some spiritual terms, right? I don't know, ancient term or Middle East or Eastern philosophy or something. But it's in the diagram that I had seen, it was like the energies, because everything is energy and vibration. So it's all going. That's why there's realms and everything going on around us. It's not just one thing. It depends on which one you enter. Like that one time where they showed me where I went in to this certain field, and it was like you were in a tornado, but everything was this, it was like a record upon record upon record, and records have the lines. Each line is a reality, a realm, and each one. So there's endless, it's infinite. And so when I went in there, I had the total awareness of all of the realities are out there. So there's all of these things swinging around, all of these energies, these frequencies. And it's like you enter into one. And that's what we do to come into this matrix world. We enter into a realm. We're birthed into a realm. And then we enter into that vibration for that experience. And so, and there's learning and through experience. So we do it for the concept of the evolution of self, the expansion of self, which you are an energy, so you're expanding. And so the um so the all the different vibrations that are out there spinning in different directions and stuff, they're all entry points. There's portals. It's like when I went in, I was like in a portal. I was in a space where I was in the middle. I wasn't in a reality. When I was spit out, I was in space. I was just in dark space. And I went, and I could see something ahead. And as I questioned it, you come to it because it's your focus. So you question something and it pulls you towards it. That's why everything about awareness and awakening is questioning. I think that's what the letter has to do with and everything. So I was pulled towards it. And when I got there, and I could feel it before I got there, and it was so intense. And it was the cycles of like Earth. It was like the cycles, but it was like a ride. It was like a roller coaster, and I could feel it going through me at the same time because we have a connection. And as I got to it, it was crazy because it was like these cycles that's going around and this ride, but it was, some of it was happy, some of it was sad, and you could feel the happy and the sad and the screaming. Sometimes it was screaming. There's so much pain. Right now we're in a place right there of so much pain. We are putting out so much pain out into the universe. And so we're breaking out of that though and entering into a new, and I don't know what it all means, I just know that that's what I experienced. But anyways, but we're transitioning out of that reality of this control, and so this bridge, this entry point. So it's like a portal of entry into this other realm, this other reality, this new age, this new age of Aquarius, this age of heaven on earth, the golden age. It's got a lot of reference to it, and so and it will have to do with freedom. It will have to do with abundance. It will have to do with, and it's not going to be like you're going to want to, I got to get money, I got to save it and stuff like that. It is going to be a freedom of existence, and everything will just be there for you. It's your birthright, and you'll have what you need. And so we're going into that world, into that reality, because there's a lot of us who want to, and so it's going to be created. But in the bridge to cross over, is you've got all these things that is like I had seen before, like this bubble gum, and the darkness holds you as you're trying to pull out, and so you've got to recognize what it is that holds you in order to pull free, to move in. And like I've said before, it's like a small entry point, and you can't carry all your baggage, and you can't be in a high vibration when it's low vibration. You can't bring a low vibration into a high vibration. You can take a high vibration into a low vibration, but you can't take a low vibration into a high vibration. So you got to clear what's not really you and find the true you, which is a high vibration. And so you're in this transitional period, but there's a lot of things that hold the core of people. It's like they've got out their cord, they're holding it tight, and there's parts in the people that also is it's like attached. So that's why you got to, do the work in order to clear what it holds you back, the chains that bind you, what hold you. You got to be aware and real with yourself in order to let go. And then is like, so everybody's on this bridge. Well, there's going to be more. So it's like everybody on this bridge, and then and you got to be clearing your stuff. Otherwise, the bridge is too heavy. And so everybody's got to be clearing their stuff to get into the bridge, to get onto the bridge. But there will be the point of the bridge going. And so in this Kanaluga thing or whatever is so it was showing the swirls. So these two swirls of energy, and then they meet, but then they separate. And so right now it's like we're in the meeting place, but they're going to separate. So it's the swirls have inner come across each other. These, I guess it's when we all of a sudden started realizing, like, oh, we're all living in different realities. We're all living it through our own perception. And so that was the realization. And it was all, everybody's living in different realities, but it was like that came into this crossing paths. And so as the paths separate, then that's the separation of the two energies, which is like the bridge taking us over here to get to where we want to go. And I'm not saying it's the only destination, like it's where we all want to go. It's where some of us want to go. And so, it's heavy on our hearts to do the work and to let go of the world as we know it. And so then it separates. That's the separation. And so it goes, it closes. And as it goes, then these ones go over here and these ones go over there. That's the ascension, the rapture. It's like this the separation of the energies going in two different directions. And that's what it shows in that kind of, I don't know what it's, but that's what it shows. It's like they cross and then they separate. But that is where you do have all of these energetic realities. And, but then when we get to this one, when we enter into the new quantum field, then that is going to be access points to be able to move more through other realities. So it's going to be in a higher vibration where we can enter a lot more realities where we wouldn't be going down in the lower. There's going to be way too much going on in the higher. And so, but we can go and move, and, it's like the other planets, which are other land masses, other realities. They don't even have to be in the land. Some of them can be in the air and we don't see them. But once we cross into the other plane of existence, then we will be able to see them. So it's not necessarily like you have to go and travel, like to get to Hawaii or something. Like I've said for a long time, it's like they're different realities, they're different realms. It's like every place is. Ohio is a different realm than California. We've already been traveling into different realities. We've already been entering different points, but this is going to become bigger, and it's not going to be under a controlled environment. It's going to be more higher vibration, so it's more open, but you'd be able to go to other planets and other worlds and go experience other existences, So, you could go and you could stay there. And then another thing that's trippy is like you could go there and say you want to go to Sirius, which, you'd have to match the vibration still. And then you could go there and you could be there what seems like you've been there for years. You could come back to the one over here, which I don't know what we're going to call it. Our world, if it's going to be Earth, I guess, or maybe it's going to be like Gaia. I don't know. Maybe, the earth's going to vibrate her name out to us. She's going to have a new name. I don't know. But so um, you could come back to that one and all the people that you're around that you've only been gone a couple minutes, because it's not, there won't be the same thing with time. Time was created to control us, and we're leaving all of the control behind. So it's not like that you would have, um, like you've been missing time. It's like you get to live. It's like you just will live and live. Like you can live forever. It's like we're going into more of how it is to be a soul. You just do your thing. You just go and do whatever. But I would say that there's probably, the higher you go, like what Mateus de Stefano says, like you enter a higher, the higher you go, the less there is of judgment. So it becomes the void. So the great void. So it is like more of a middle ground, more of a playground, but it's not of the low vibration, but it's up here in the higher vibration realms. But there still is all different vibrations. Like even if you were to go to somebody, you would still not be able to enter ones that are higher than you. And like supposedly the what are those ones? Not the Anunnaki. The starts with an A though. The there's people who channel them. Daniel Scranton channels them. That I can't think what they're called, but the supposedly those beings, that they don't have any kind of structure at all. Like their existence is very, you know, they don't have bodies or anything like that, and so that's like right before you get into the gray void or something. So so it's not like we would go into some of those. It's like it still would be, it'd be another Matrix kind of existence, only it's way broader and it's way more happy. It's way better. So it's curious too, is like when this all goes down, maybe there will be a point where there will be, maybe that's why there's so much focus on AI, because there's going to be a point of, opening the black boxes and the computers and letting the spirits out or something. I don't know, because and the more they create robots and stuff, like, are you just stealing people's consciousness and putting them in robots? Which Tesla now has a restaurant in LA, and it's got robots doing stuff. It looks cool, like on some of the things. It's got big movie screens, like if you're at a drive-in, it's got like these big drive-in screens going. It's got robots serving popcorn, but the parking lot is like set up for, it's all charging docks and it's all Teslas. Like, and I don't know if that's just a part of the opening nightly look, and they've just parked them all out there. So it makes people be like, well, I want to get one too. So, or if there really is this many and they all decide to go to this restaurant this one night, seems a little extreme. Which, this is something too, is, because all of the talk on, the Idaho guy, and he got sentenced or something, and my mom, it's been all on the TV or whatever, and she was just so disgusted. She's like, oh, she's real worked up about this guy, and to me, it's like, and she said he won't show any emotion or anything. It's like, man, is he a patsy? Was it, stealing the kind of situation? Because that's for real deal. Like there can be, because it was college kids, and so the whoever, well, I want that body, I want that, I want this. And so, I don't know the background of all these people. I don't know if like I was a cheerleader and a football player. Like, I don't know what the specimens were. Skeleton Key, it was like, the choosing and Get Out too. So if it was something like that, and then they have patsies, they've always got patsies, and they take the fall but really it's the cover of getting either bodies or parts or something. So I don't know, because there's a lot of that. So I don't know. I mean, I know that there's crazy people out there who just, the instigators especially, just, and you got the people just doing their own kids in right and left, like, for fuck's sake. You got kids doing kids in. You got kids doing their parents in. Like, it's a fucking free-for-all murder out there. But in some of these bigger things, where there's a lot of attention and there's a lot of things that don't line up, because that one still got things where you got people are still going, okay, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense. So, and I don't go and follow all of this stuff, but there's people who are very focused on it, saying like there's stuff that doesn't make sense. There's still things that seem to be lies. Anytime there seems to be lies, there probably are. And so there's always a creepier thing going on, which this was something too. Because there is always, Angelina has been, she's all the time on my YouTube. And so I'll open my YouTube and I'm guaranteed there's going to be some video about her. And so she had been on my Aniston too. So she's got a new fella, which I don't know. All I know is that she's told people, like, you go get one of these or I'll never speak to you again. It's like, okay, you sell out, bitch. So anyways, but there's always been things that I thought were weird about Angelina. She's one of those union of the world speakers or whatever, whatever those people are. And, but they are, there's a connection, and she makes, like, she's saving these kids, bringing them from these other countries, and she's just going to adopt them. She'll save them from these horrible lives they have there. Her kids, they seem like they like her and stuff. They don't seem like she's the slave, they're her slaves or something. And so it's like, well, I don't know, maybe she really did see some stuff. She really did want to save some kids, because you can't save them all. They're going to eat some of them. But, fucking fly, bitch ass. It's confirmation. Doesn't want me to talk. And so but then she has the kid who, starts the inversion. It's like, so many of these, it's like, that's a little extreme. Every fucking celebrity, they got a kid that's switching genders. Like, I don't know about that. And so, it's like, oh, well, give you a bonus. Make sure one of your kids does. Or if it's part of the ceremony or something. I don't know. It's weird. And so, that was like, I don't know. And she's just out there all over the place right now, and going into things and talking to people, going and doing her United Nations work or whatever she is. And what are they called? I can't think of it. It's all bullshit. And but now, because Selma, she's shown herself fucking 100%. Selma's she, and the billionaire that she married, he's the one who owns that fucking Balenciaga or some shit, which they've got the, models that disappear, but then they come out as a mannequin. Like, they got weird shit. And then there's a video of her, like, mowing down on raw meat and stuff. Like, no, she's part of the whole thing. I don't know. I don't think she just married into it. It's like a lot of these marriages are set up anyways. And so, I think she's 100%. But then I, was still kind of on the fence on Angelina, how deep she was in the deep state. So, but now, so Selma was taking a trip in Mexico to a certain little town, and it just so happens Angelina's there at the same time, and they're both in this little town, which there was people saying anyone who is from here knows what this town is known for, and it is like going to the voodoo capital. And so, oh my god, chick, will you just go lay somewhere else, Stella? Oh, fucking so there was people saying that's what goes on here. This is like witch central. And so for them to both be there, and then there's pictures of them all chumming up and stuff like that. So this one girl, she was showing this video, and she's like, oh, how wonderful. And, Selma's there visiting old friends, and Angelina's there for something, and they get together, and they're, oh, look at the friendship and all this shit. Oh, the comments. The comments on that video, oh my God, it was hilarious. And some of the stuff, like, it was all witch stuff. It was all, the stuff, calling out what these people are really doing. And the creator of the video, she was in defense mode. And she kept telling people, quit believing what you hear. Oh, that's not true. She's there visiting her friends from childhood and all this stuff. She was just going into town to defend these people. I did a comment and I was like, how deep are you in this celebrity worship? Because why is it you don't believe anything that anybody else is saying? You got all the people in your comments saying this, but you're fighting them all. Why? Like, you gotta question yourself, like, who you're worshiping. And I say these kinds of things. Nobody ever responds. I don't even know if the comments show up in their things because of my censorship. But anyway, so she's completely defending them and telling everybody else that they're so crazy because they would even think such a thing. It's like, you need to pay attention over what's really going on out there and look into things deeper. I mean, man, they really do have these people that just, worship these celebrities. And just because someone's a celebrity doesn't make them a good person. And it doesn't mean all celebrities are bad people. Like, we can't, like, you got those people too. Every celebrity's a bad person. No, they're not. It's just the same in all things. There's everything playing out. And so you have good people who entered. Oh yeah, the other black cube was Wall Street. It has to do with the worship and control of money, and the one in the Mecca or whatever over in the Middle East. That one is about worship, so it feeds off of worship. Then the one in the Vatican, it feeds off of pain and suffering, off of confession. And then the one at CERN is whatever, it's fucking entry point of evil. I don't know what the fuck. So anyways, those black cubes that guy was talking about is the suckers of the loosh machines that all these other beings hook into. So anyways, however you envision it, however you see it, there's definitely the feeders off of the low vibrational energy. It's part of the realm of the low vibration, the existence of this lower vibration. It feeds the other low vibration. So anyways, but we're moving out of there, and moving. And even the people who, and on the other side of the bridge, when it flips, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going back to the lowest. They still have been elevating. They'll still go into worlds that are just there to help them still see themselves more clearly and break free from the things that hold them back. So, it doesn't mean like, oh, well, now they're going to go down and, start over again or something. No, you still would be where your vibration is. So, and people are doing lots of work on themselves and lots of things. So, there's just certain things that hold people tightly, and then you got to still break free from it. So, anyways, but it's going to split, and it's going to go in two different directions. And I think that's the solar flash. And if it is true that it is coming in 27, which there's a whole bunch of people saying that, then I would just say there's going to be a lot going on for the next year and a half. Because we got for the rest of 25, then all of 26, and I don't know when it's going to go down to 27. Like, I can't even believe that we're about to be fucking in August in 25. I thought way more would have already been, that we would have already switched more things by now. So I'm still hoping that August 1st is a big thing on the relief of the debt and all that stuff, because it still has a huge hold. And I saw a guy talking on a video, and he said that all that the banks now, they're going to go after and foreclose. So if you're behind on your payments, they're taking them. They don't give a shit now. And he was trying to tell people, like, he can help you try and save it, but it's to me it's like, go and move forward. Like, why do we want to hold on to something that let them have it. Let them have it. Take them. Take your fucking houses. We don't want them. We don't need them. we're going to go somewhere else. We're going to build something different. We don't need your shit. So it collapses them. It collapses their world. The more that we let go of it, the more we say, fuck off. I don't need their shit. And we move out of that energy of, oh, I've got to get it. I've got to be desperate. Oh, what am I going to do? I got to hold on. I got to hold on. Let go, man. Let go. We don't need to hold on to shit. What we need to do is, it's like, yeah, I just saw like an acrobatic person. Like they wouldn't be doing very much acrobats if they would just kept holding on to the swing. No, we got to swing out there, do some flips, and know that we got a swing that's going to come for us. And and sometimes you get into this thing of like, show me, show me the sign. Where's the swing? Where am I going? Where am I? And I'm just out here falling. And oh, that cat's supposed to be in still. Catifer. Setting the motion. The dogs always go, oh, get that cat. The other day there was a deer out there, and the deer was realizing because the dogs were out there barking at it. And I was telling him, it's okay, they can't get you. And she's looking over at me. She's moving slow. And I'm like, yeah, they can't get you. It's okay. And so she just stood out there eating. And it's like I love the world of being in with the animals, man. And what's real and the souls and stuff. So, oh, and I saw a cool story about this lion. It's the oldest lion that they've known of mankind. And his name was, sounds like a girly name, but it was a guy. I don't remember if it was Ginger or something, but anyways, it was this lion that was 17 years old from what they had monitored. It was the oldest lion. Lions, remember when I was talking about lions the other day, about how long do they live? How long? The average lion lives like 10 years. And so this one was 17, and he was out on his own for years and years and years. And making it, and doing good and stuff. But he looked old as fuck. And then, but the fascinating thing was that its own cubs, its own male cubs, allowed it into their pride, into their pack. He allowed him back, which is that typically they would just kill him. But no, there was like respect, mad respect. Like, come on home. And so he was with them, but then they said it like in Zambia or something, and then he disappeared off the radar, which they said that a lion will go out and just die by itself, like the same with cats. When a cat wants to go die, it will go find a place and just die by itself, and just pass, So anyways, I've been just yakking all day for a while. I guess I gotta get started on my walks. Go get my walking done. The dogs are feeling so intense. Like Max has got the itch on. Oh, I'm gonna start giving him the yeast pills too. And they all got some stank on them too. So I don't know. It's just poison. My mom's got some cats, like they're sneezing their heads off, and they don't even go outside. Sneezing their heads off, and it's not wide. Like it's so gross. Like sneeze, and it's a whole long thing, like a fucking little kid. Which I saw this one woman doing this video, and she was talking to her kids. So she was a second grader and a fifth grader, and she was talking to them about farts in class. And so she was saying, so nobody laughs anymore? And they're like, no, nobody laughs if you fart in class. No. And she goes, yeah, but what if it stinks real bad? And she said, oh, we just pull our shirts over our nose. And she's like, so nobody says anything. Nobody laughs. Nobody says, you did a stinky or whatever. Nobody does that anymore. And then she's like, did they ever? And the second grade goes, well, in kindergarten they did. But then after that, no, nobody does. Nobody says anything. And so you can just rip one in class and everybody just sits there doing their work. Nobody thinks a thing about it. And the woman who is the mom, she's like, that's so weird. She said, the teacher doesn't even laugh, nobody. And she's like, man, when I was in school, everybody would be cracking up. And I was thinking about, I think it's because there's such an attack on our guts that we got kids that have got fucking gut problems, man, and they're all in there farting, and nobody's gonna laugh because they all know the suffering. So they're all in there suffering, like, fuck, man, they've all got the bad bacteria just in a battle zone in their gut. And so it's like, fuck, that just is a sign of like how fucking sick that they're making us as a species, man. So anyways, but yeah, when you have empathy and compassion, yeah, you're not gonna be laughing over, this poor kid who had a shitty ass diet, who's like reeking of sulfur and rotten eggs in class. Then now they're all have got the problem, and they're all just like, well, we've all got it, and they're all just ripping them, just like, well, what you gonna do? I used to make fun of old people being like that, but now it's like, nope, it's just across the board. Like everybody's got gut problems, but that is a big thing. What the poisons are attacking, because even that one biologist or microbiologist or whatever said, looking under the microscope, there's no good bacteria in people's guts. And people have all these issues like C. diff and stuff like that. So, yeah, we got to really build up our good biome in our gut, because that is where you absorb your nutrition, and then they take all the nutrition out. Like, they're fucking making people sick, and it's all on purpose. And it's so, and there's just more and more information to come out. So, I guess, it's got to kind of go slow, because otherwise people would just be drowning in it. They wouldn't even know which way to look. So, but right now they're opening the door to the, and then, but that is fucking, that right there is an open vein to a lot of other stuff. It's going to bring in a lot of stuff, because that is going to become, it's going to lead into traffic situations. It's all going to be, you'll see it all becoming connected. Oh man, that's connected, that's connected, that's connected, that's connected. And the problem is, where people are all hung up on this one list. It's like, you need to get the list of your community is what you need the list of. And you start taking those motherfuckers down, which they are going down. Like, they're dropping like flies. So there is a group of people who do know who's on those lists, and they are going and going and going, and they're gonna be gone, 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 baby. So, oh, God, just give me a little shock. So, anyways, let's get on with our day. So, here's what we got going on the hair situation. If it looks like it's growing, then that's what we got with the, there's a lot, the B12 bites, and that was like, fuck, man. So, again, this little thing, it's like, God, this can't heal fast enough. But that is another thing too, when they just keep poisoning us and taking away all of the stuff, it's hard to keep your nutrition. And it's the serenade. So, anyways, just remember, we're on the bridge. Some are a little further ahead on the bridge. It depends on where you're at on working on yourself and releasing the things that hold you and bind you into this reality of control. So, just work on yourself. And a big thing is learning how to love yourself, learning how to love everybody else, and learning how to have the day you want to have, because it is up to you, and we are going towards it. So, anyways, have a good day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.